Okay, first thing, Ahmad Hardy is a beast. He has like 19 carries for 250 something yards and 3 touchdowns. Dude's a monster. Also, shout out to YouTube TV for finally getting this back. Multi-view, just getting back college football. Huge stuff. I'll talk about Tennessee for a bit. We did our job. 42-9. Not going to complain. Did not cover the spread. Did not get the over. Is that a big deal? 142-9. Like, I'm not going to sit here and complain about that. Like, I know Boo Carter, I don't believe even showed up. What's wrong with him? Like, he's not a great player. I don't think he's tried hard enough for our team. I really don't think he has. He's good in special teams when he actually can hold the ball. But that's a problem. You actually have to hold the ball to be good. And overall, Aguilar had some interceptions, had some touchdowns. We did our job. Move on to Florida. I've said this before. I'll say it again. If we beat Florida, I look at this year as a success. We've not won at Florida in my lifetime. I'm 18. I could cry if we win. It means a lot. I hate Florida. I hate those teams. Please win for people like me who have never watched them win a game at Florida. So that's the thing, right? That's what I say about our game. The rest of everything that happened in college football are very different. SEC was the talk of the town today. I know you might talk about some of the Big 12 or Big 10 or ACC. ACC had Friday stuff with Louisville going down. How do we say this? A&M. Whew, that was close. I had to take on my Manziel jersey to be able to watch that game. I wanted A&M to win, and they did. Came back down 30-3 to win. I think that says a lot more about South Carolina, though, than it does A&M, in my opinion. Shane Beamer's time is probably done. It probably is. And that's sad, but his coordinator hires have not worked. You have Lenore Sellers, who can't seem to throw a pass correctly. Who has developed him? Like, you feel like by now he'd be consistently throwing good short routes. Cam Newton could. And even like KJ Jefferson in Arkansas, he could. Like, you could throw well as a big guy. Just they've not. You cannot blow a 30-3 lead and then keep your job. And no matter who it is. And you blew it in 20 minutes. It wasn't like it took the entire half. You blew it in 20 minutes. That's really bad. So I'm confused on. I'm not even confused. It's probably his time is done. They need someone else. They have a lot of candidates that can come that are open. A lot of coordinators that could come open. If you want good offense, there's people out there for you. I'd love to see what they could get. And it's not a bad job. And you have, if Lenore Sellers wants to come back to develop more, and if he likes the coach, you're going to have one of the better quarterbacks prospects in the country. Marcel Reed probably tanked the Heisman stock with that performance because that first half was so bad. But he kind of resaved it in a way. He kind of did. I can't tell how to think about that. Like, he played so bad. You know, like 3 turnovers. One that went for a touchdown. 6 for 19. That worries me about A&M. I'm not saying they're frauds, but that's on the table of a performance now. That's on the board of a performance, and you played a phenomenal second half. You could have been up 34-30, but you had a dumb turnover. I'm just confused about them right now. Like, what happened? Like, how did you play so bad? What was happening there? I don't know. Yeah, I think it says a lot more about South Carolina, though. If you can't win with that lead, you got to go. Change has got to be made. And good job, A&M. You survived. But gosh, that's not that good. That's really not good to have that happen. But you'd rather say that's not good to have that happen to you in a win than saying that tanked your season possibly in a loss. See what I'm saying? That's a lot better to deal with. Georgia, Texas. That game just ended. Ooh. Kirby Smart in fourth quarters and third quarters, mainly fourth today, just work perfectly together. Peanut butter and jelly, whatever you want to call it. It works perfectly together. His aggressiveness, I I really don't want to like Kirby Smart, so I don't. I don't like Kirby Smart, but it's very respectable whenever you can make a call like he's done. 4th and 1 to go for it. 4th and 5, hurry up type situation. And then onside kick went up by 11. If you don't get that, they have the ball at midfield. But he did it, and it worked. So, very, very good job on his part. I was very impressed about that play call. To go for an onside kick in that situation. They went 35-10. They killed them. Like, Georgia's team did a very, very good job. And I believe C.J. Davis, when the number 3, he got hurt early on in the game, and he was out. And they still played great. The rush defense was pretty good. Their pass rush was good. Texas dropped a lot of balls that they really should have caught. But that's what takes away the fact that Georgia did a very good job containing Arch. He did not use his legs to his ability, because he really did not allow him to. They got pressure when they needed to. They got an interception. They pretty much did their job. Texas had a very good defensive performance. I'd say most of the game. Texas offense has to do more. And this leads to the question of, when will Sark finally win the big game? And we're talking about this. You look at it. It's like, oh, he's a Big 12 champion. He made the SEC title game last year. Who was the best team he played? He didn't have to play. He played Georgia and lost. He didn't have to play Bama. He didn't have to play LSU. He didn't have to play Tennessee. Bama. He played Oklahoma. And Oklahoma didn't even finish with a 500 record. He played A&M. They lost to USC. They finished 8-5. That was the best team they played last year. They played Michigan. They went 8-5. So, like, they didn't play anyone great. It was not a big game on their schedule that was a must win. And you get into the playoff. You beat Clemson at home in a bit of a struggle. You almost lose to Arizona State in a comeback allowed to Cam Scatterboo and them. And then you lose to Ohio State because of a dumb play call at the end of the game, going for a pitch play on 2nd-and-1 at the goal line. I'm not saying that you could have ran the ball up the middle and got it, but I'm going to tell you, pitching the ball 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage is not the next best option. Just saying. And the year before against Washington, you lose. The Big 12 title game when you won. The only best team you played that entire year was Oklahoma. Guess what? Hurt. Guess what? Not hurt. You lost that game, and you played Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game. And Oklahoma State was banged up. I think they had their backup quarterback, and then Ollie Gordon got hurt. And then you play Washington, and then you lose. There's a late game play calling. Like, they had a kick returner at one point in the game against Washington that had a club. Yes, a cast over his arm trying to return kicks, and he muffed it and did not gain a yard. Duh! What else did you expect? So, some of that stuff, and I question it. Can he win the big one for them? And they're number 1 in the country, and you look at the big games they've had this year. Ohio State lost. You lose at Florida, which is looking really bad right now. And you lose at Georgia. If you lose against A&M, all of your big games, you have lost again. And you have occasional big ones, but it's not really impressive overall look-wise, in my opinion. I'm a Tennessee fan, but we've beaten Bama twice. Like, we've had these stuff happen. We at least can fight against Georgia. At least we can score against them. I think we scored more points this year on Georgia than Texas has in their last 3 appearances against them, to give you an idea. So, yeah, like, I don't know where Texas goes from here. They're not making the playoff. You cannot lose by 25 to make it. No matter what Kirk Herbstreit's telling you, you cannot lose to Florida, and you cannot lose by 25 and make the playoff. You just can't. So, I don't know where they go from here. I assume they're going to keep Sark, but, like, you have the right to complain if you're a Texas fan, in my opinion. And then you got the main thing that happened today, Oklahoma winning at Alabama. Ty Simpson played his worst game of the year. Forced turnovers all across the board by Oklahoma. Phenomenal work. Pick 6. Could have had another interception. That was a callback for PI, which was a PI. I'm just not... It's weird to see the exact same script of a game show up again, just like it happened before with my game with Tennessee. I did not expect it to go that way, but it happened. Forced turnovers without our Mason Thomas. Without our Mason Thomas, the outside guy went crazy. Number 44, he got a strip sack on you late. And Oklahoma did not have anything offensively, but their defense makes so many plays that they're bound to get something out of it. And I believe they play Missouri and LSU next. I believe those are their last two. I could be wrong. I believe that is the case, though. So, see what happens there. Those are two very winnable games, and they're at Oklahoma. So, excited for them about that. Bama, the nightmare of all situations. You have gone through the gauntlet of Georgia, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, and LSU, and Missouri. You ripped off like 8, 9 in a row. You're going to get a free week next week. And then guess what? You have to go play at Auburn, which might sound like nothing, but they've been competitive all year with teams. And now you have to win a game that is going to decide your playoff hopes. And it's Auburn. It's the Iron Bowl. You've had great matchups. You have great teams go die there. You look at the 2021 team and the 2023 team, the both who went on to beat Georgia in the SEC title game, who are way better than the Auburn team. And they came down to the absolute wire in those games. And a miracle Gravedigger and the disaster in the pasture. This is Corey Brooks. Unbelievable stuff. Again, if I think Tank Bigsby stays in bounds, they probably lose the game. So, like, Auburn at home, nothing to lose. Ashton Daniels finding stuff to work. Keon Coleman, you never know. Pretty much, you don't want that to be your game you have to win. But you've done it before. Can you do it again? Probably. We'll see what happens. That's my opinion upon that. Bama can't run the ball great. And Tyson's had a really bad game for his standard. Other stuff, Arkansas lost again. Shocker. Mississippi State's about to lose to Missouri. And Kentucky has a chance to be bowl bound. Wow. Nothing really else happened today that really stopped. USF lost and Cincinnati lost. Tough. Michigan won off a walk-off. Their playoff hopes aside, playing against Ohio State. And Iowa loses to USC in a muddy game. And USC goes up to Eugene to play at Oregon. Big battle there in the Big Ten. We'll see what happens. Hope you have a great day, y'all. Stay safe. And remember, God bless y'all.